afternoon, good evening, good morning, PN folks. It's your man on the way, Joy Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Happy Easter, everybody! It's the start of the spring. As you see, Easter was one of the biggest holidays of the year. You know, we had that long drought after New Year's, and those President's Day don't mean anything to us. It's not really a real holiday. And then, you get to Easter and you feel like things are getting a little better. It's warm out here. It seems like everything's bright. I think now the pollen's cleared up. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I have allergies. But it's one of those great holidays. I hope you enjoy it with friends and family. Remember the man who gave up his life for us, on this earth.
Right.
Also, don't forget the little kids who love their little eggs. I hate eggs. I'm not a fan of eggs. I don't eat eggs. So
I gotta love them.
So we have your lady. It's a lovely young lady. She is from our home state of North Carolina. I just love it. When I get opportunity to interview someone here in, the Tar Heel State. It's just great. It's surprising there's quite a few ladies who do live here, who are professional and amateur bodybuilders in from North Carolina. I had pleasure to interview quite a few. We have the lovely Mrs. Cameryn Bell. If I got your name right, I want to make sure I did.
That's right. That's accurate.
Thank you. And she is a bikini competitor, and she has been competing for quite some time. And I think she's prepping for an upcoming show. So we welcome, madam, and thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's so sweet and kind for you to think of me. And forgive me, this is my first time doing a show an interview for YouTube. So I'm greatly appreciative. Thank
Well,
you.
I'm gonna tell you this, madam. I'll be gentle with you.
I
I'm sorry, that's the other guy. He sometimes come out every now and then. So,
love it.
this is a couple questions I'm gonna ask you. The first question is, what got you started in this sport, as I call it, muscle and masculinity? And also, second question is, are you North Carolinian born or North Carolinian transplant?
So I got into bodybuilding for a couple of reasons. The first one was for mental stability, mental health. Right around the time when COVID began, a couple of years back, I recognized I was going through like a serious depression. It was quite severe, and it actually led me into trying to commit suicide. So this is my first time actually talking about it too. So that's what got me into bodybuilding. And my husband, he used to powerlift in the army like years ago. My husband is a retiree. He did 20 years plus in the service, and he was the one who was like, Cam, why don't you get into the gym? And once I started getting into it, which I've always been quite athletic, because I'm prior military as well. Uh, in high school, I did sports, track and field, all that stuff, cheerleading. So I've always been athletic. So once I got into it, I didn't realize it was going to turn into something to where I'd want to pursue it as a career. Had no clue whatsoever. So yeah, that's what got me into it. And plus, I also tell people too, the gym is the real fountain of youth. If you really want to stick around for a good period of time, go to the gym. That's the best place to take anything, whatever you may be going through, whatever emotion you're feeling that day, take it to the gym. It's going to work out for you. And I am born in North Carolina, Wilson, to be exact. I don't think too many people know where Wilson is located, but if you know where Raleigh Durham is at, it's
Yeah.
like 45 minutes away from Raleigh Durham. 30
So
minutes
you,
away from Greenville. It's really small. It's a small town. It's more so like a retirement town now. Every time I go home, that's what I see. I see more like more retirees and stuff there, like the older generation. So um yeah, I'm born and raised in North Carolina, Wilson, Tarboro area. It's Cone County.
well,
That's
madam,
me.
I was born and raised Robertson County, born in Wilmington.
Okay.
We're like a couple of miles from South Carolina right here.
Yes.
I heard of Wilson. I mean, I have a niece. She stays in Raleigh. I hadn't seen her in a while. My niece, we call
Okay.
nephew. She's not my niece by blood, but we practically raised her. I love her
It
as a
doesn't matter. We
yeah,
don't even. It
yeah,
don't
yeah.
matter.
That
Yeah.
I address her as that, as my niece, and it's
Mhm.
great that that you found this sport to help with your mental state. I've talked to ladies that have done through, went through like mental abuse. They had also was dealing with maybe depression.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding does help because I think you said like it's something about when you're lifting weights and you're working out, it helps those endorphins building your system, your blood, it helps your brain.
That's
And the
right.
thing about it is that sometimes depression happens, even the best of us, because instead again, you have a
Yeah.
husband, and he's a good man, and you both served our country. So I don't say thank
Yeah.
you for your service. I say, as a
Mm.
citizen, I appreciate the sacrifice you have made for this country because
Mm.
my oldest niece and my youngest nephew, they both served in the army, and I, love them. They
Mm.
practically raised them. They were coming up, and that's the thing about bodybuilding. It's not going to stop Father Time, but it can halt him a little bit. We have here some
Mm.
people coming in. My man KL the Wanderer coming through. He says this. He says, "Happy Easter." Thank you, brother.
Happy Easter,
Also,
honey.
he says, "George, I see you talking with a chocolate bunny for Easter." Yeah, she's a chocolate bunny. She's a chocolate bunny.
That's so sweet. Thank
That's
you,
her.
honey.
Also, he says this. He says, I embrace the bikini division. Well, brother, I know you do.
Thank you, Kay.
I'm gonna like
Okay.
this. I'm like this. I'm a fan of the women's bodybuilding. Been a fan for a long time. No offense to your division, even though I
No,
find it.
it's okay. Really? You're the first person that I've ever heard say that about the bikini division. It's fine though. It's cool. But yeah, that's the first time I've heard that before. Interesting.
well,
And you
well,
said your
what
favorite division is what again?
women's bodybuilding? Because this is where it
Oh,
started
yeah,
off.
yeah.
Because I've been following bodybuilding, for a long time, and I
Okay.
grew up in the. My brothers played football here in our hometown. He used to always get the muscle max, and I grew up with guys like Schwarzenegger, Lee Heaney, and
Mm,
those guys. And then the women started coming out, like women like Corey Everson, Lloyd
mm,
Craval, Linda Murray, and just it was just
Linda, yeah.
especially I was coming in my teenage years, it kind of worked my little fragile mind, and it turned me into a merciful smoke. But being a content maker, I'm open to interviewing. Like I said, I've interviewed quite a few competing competitors, amateur
Mhm.
and pro, and hearing your story about what you went through, that really is something tough. I mean, it's tough where your mind is telling you something, and
Yeah.
especially going to depression. Like my man KR asked the question is he says, what made you go to the depression?
Mm, good question. I mean, if you think about it, during COVID time, all communication. Well, for me, let me speak on my behalf. I wasn't able really to talk to go see my family and stuff. That pretty much all came to a complete halt. As far as like going home to North Carolina to spend time during the holidays, because COVID first began. What was it? 2019, 2020.
2020.
That's when
Yeah, we did.
everything, yeah, like March time frame, if I'm thinking correctly. That's when everything went completely, like everything just went to a halt. And at that time with my job, I was working constantly. Like I had no life whatsoever, no life. All it was just work, eat, sleep, go to bed, and then do it again. And sometimes I didn't even have the opportunity to lay down for probably about 2 hours or so, then get right back up and start all over again. So yeah, that most definitely took me into began my depression because I'm pretty close to my family. You know what I mean? So not being able to go home for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, and then also too, you got to think about like the grandmas and stuff like that. They are more fragile to the virus. So they were like my family country. At that point, they like, nah, baby, we can't, we ain't doing this no more. We ain't doing no more Thanksgiving. So
I
that was really hard. It was
Yeah,
hard.
I can tell you from a standpoint, it did hit my family hard. My mother, I took care of for the last 5 or 6 years. She was
Mhm.
dealing with seizures and she was sick for a long time. And she got sick one day, went to the hospital, couldn't go see her, couldn't visit her, and she
Yeah.
got the virus. And eventually, because her body was already going through what she was going through, it eventually killed her.
Mm.
I mean, it was
Oh
tough.
gosh,
I
what a
mean,
nightmare.
yeah, it's gonna be 6 years coming up this June since my mother's passed, and it was uh last week would have been her 83rd birthday.
Oh
and
my
that
gosh.
was my woman. I took care of her, stood
Okay.
by her. This was reason why I got into this because I can understand the whole thing depression because I was depressed, but it was a lot to
Mm.
take care of somebody who used to take care of me, and
Oh
then you turn
wow.
around, you have to take care of her, and you need something as an outlet. And like I said, to be a fan of bodybuilding, I just started doing content. And then later
Mm,
on, after she passed, I had all this free time to myself because I wasn't
mm,
responsible for that by myself. So I started doing
wow.
interviews, doing more, and getting more in depth to content and becoming an advocate for y'all ladies because y'all definitely need an advocate.
Mm.
Not as much as your division do because it's very more popular. But hey,
It
I,
is popular.
yeah, whatever. But wasn't from women's bodybuilding, wouldn't be here. So we got to call it from the man.
I understand. Yes.
Yeah, we got to come from man kid says it's a lot of you women in the bikini division. It's hard to tell your physique from each other, but you guys, you do have uh, fans. You
This
don't
is
say
true.
guys; these ladies. This is a southern lady. You call her a lady. I don't I don't refer a female in a male vernacular. I say ma'am, girl, darling. Guys,
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
He's from New York City. New York City. So that's
He's from New York.
New
Oh
York
no.
City. Oh yeah.
He has a valid point though. This is something that I discussed with my coach. Now my coach is Miss Sharonica Hinton. I gotta shout her out. She was ranked in the top three in Olympia. Absolutely phenomenal. So this is something that I talked to her about, and I stated the same thing too. It is a gray area because I did Junior Olympia, I think like 2 years ago, and sometimes the division, in particular, wellness girls, are permitted to compete in the bikini division. And you don't know until you get on stage and see a wellness girl in the same division as a bikini girl. So it is, I totally understand. And that is something, it is a massive gray area. And it don't make no sense because the criteria is completely different when you look at the physique of a wellness female and then a bikini girl. Is completely different. Posing is different. The body composition is completely different. So yeah, it is a huge gray area, and sometimes you don't even know what you're going to deal with the day of competition. You have no clue what you're going to experience. So yeah, it is a massive gray area. I totally agree. Hopefully that'll be something that could actually be like concrete and black and white. But as of now, you just don't know. You don't.
Well, I know I interviewed a young lady who got a pro card at Nationals about a couple of years ago. She was doing both figure and wellness. And
Mm,
with crossover, it happens quite often because I've interviewed ladies who've done physique and women's bodybuilding, figure, and physique. I interviewed one lady who won 3 pro cards in North Americans, 2 in figure and 1 in physique. Because
hmm.
it's that's one thing I think a lot of people say they don't like the idea of crossover. But the thing is,
Right.
promoters make money for it, especially when you're amateur.
This
You
is
have to
true.
you other than in the pro level where you can do crossovers, but you have to be a master. You can't do it at open.
Mm.
Um, Here, this is from a man, Kia. He's a head. He says, "Stop being too dramatic." No, I'm from the South. We are dramatic. We have a personality. You guys, say, hey, hey, yo, what's up? Yo. No, down here in the
I'm
South,
very,
we have a very way of speaking.
very vivid with my personality.
Yeah,
Absolutely. It's a
yeah.
southern thing.
Yeah, when she came out, she said, "Hello, darling." I said, "Yeah, that's you don't hear too many women say that, darling, dear, because too many women now say we like to be called women. Like we always call lady. Hey, I call you what I see you. I call you girl,
Okay.
baby, sweetheart, whatever I feel. I'm a man. That's my right thing. So yes, I'm dramatic. So that's there, New York
I
City, New
love
York
it.
City.
I
So
love it.
anyway, back to let me get away from being my acting a little
I
bit.
love
What was that
it.
experience like for you first time competing? Because on the stage and just I think it's a tough sport for anybody.
This is true. It is very true. Well, the first experience on stage for me, uh, it was quite overwhelming. And for me, I'm still steadily teaching myself to being able to embrace what I naturally or well organically produce on my own, but being able to translate that when I'm on stage. When I'm on stage, all I can think about for the most part is ensuring that I have a good time. When you get into your head too much when you're on stage, that's when everything just falls apart. For sure. That's what I recognize. My very first time on stage, I was in my head entirely too much. Once you get out there past that first stage performance, it's addictive. You don't want to stop whatsoever. You just want to continue to keep building your body, being better than your version prior to your last show prior. You just want to ensure that you're giving the best that you can. So when I'm on that stage, I'm having the best time of my life, even though it may not look like it. I'll do a little smirk here and there, but people fail to realize when you're on stage, that is that is a workout in itself. Sitting there holding those poses, trying to breathe through your teeth and smile and listen, it is a job in itself, but when I tell you, once you get the fundamentals down pat, it is something to it. It's the most amazing experience ever. It
Yeah,
really is.
yeah, because I think everybody has different experiences when you do their first competition. It can be nerve wracking. I know ladies
Mm.
told me sometimes they have to get a little sippy sip for to get on stage because they're not, yeah, they're not comfortable in being in front of a bunch of people.
I listen.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no no no! Listen. That's another Southern thing. I'm just saying. Listen, baby. I understand. Keep talking. Keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah, yeah. I
I
sometimes forget those
understand.
vernaculars every now and then. Yeah. Oh, here you go. Here he goes. He's a hater. He says, that ain't no Southern thing. That's a
It's a
Georgia thing.
George thing.
Well, I'm from the South, so it's embedded in me, brother. If you have a problem with it, you have a problem with the South. So you New
Okay.
York guys, whatever, whatever. But yeah, going back to that, yeah, it is. It's it's a tough sport, especially from the
Mm,
standpoint of people who don't understand it. Because one thing people see is like these bunch of people on the stage flexing and yada yada, and these little
yeah.
bikinis and frozen suits, and you're halfway naked. But there's so much to the process of it, like the diet, the
Yes.
training. When you're competing up there, you are hungry, tired, dehydrated. I just
Yes.
watched a show yesterday, which was the Vancouver Owl show. I follow some ladies who also did interviews some ladies who competed at that show, and
Okay.
it was a good show. And some of those ladies, they look like they were retired, but because you have to hold your muscles when you're flexing, you're
Absolutely.
moving, you know.
Oh God, you gotta hold it. You gotta breathe. You gotta make sure you're keeping it your center core, your core tight. You gotta make sure you show the right angle. You gotta make sure your footing is proper. Gotta press through the toes. I mean, it can go on and on. I promise. It is so much that's involved. Honestly, the it's not the weight training that's the most difficult. It's that food. And especially for us, we're Southerners. So back at home for us, how we like to eat. You understand. Listen.
Yes, because today it's Easter. Somebody's grandma, mama got out the sweet potato pie, the potato salad, maybe a ham, some rice, some beans,
Mm-hmm.
maybe some fried
Oh, why you gotta keep,
chicken.
keep talking like that? Oh, Lord.
I know because it's just traditional. But
It is. It is.
yeah, but those things are not good for a process for a bodybuilder. You have to follow a strict diet. You have to
Absolutely.
count your macros. You have to pay attention what you digest. You don't need a
Mm-hmm.
lot of sweets. You don't need a lot of proteins. Too much of this, too much of that. You
Yep.
want just enough to help you keep your body going. Because even though
Yep.
like you might eat like I think the average maybe 4 or 5, maybe six meals in a day, but then you got
Yep.
to think about it. Your body's burning that food when you're working out.
Exactly. I know for me, for me, my diet plan right now, I'm eating 6 days, 6 times a day. Um, and that is, man, again, it's not the weight training, it's the food portion that's difficult because again, it's been plenty of times like the other night I was sitting down eating and I'm trying to make sure I'm falling asleep eating at the same time. Like it's that difficult to try to get all your food in, all your protein in. That is like the most difficult part. It's not throwing up the weights. It is the food. The hardest part, the food.
Mm,
Once
yeah,
you conquer that portion, you can do anything.
yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah, most people think about look at bodybuilding because you just take steroids and you're just and you be like big like Arnold and rah rah rah. No, 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 no. That's only a small factor to it. If you're
Very
not
cool. That was
eating,
good.
yeah, like I practice somebody Arnold, Arnold, but if you're not eating
That was good.
regularly on a steady diet, if you don't follow a
Mm,
regimen, you're not, disciplined. You're not working on your all these steps that make you a good athlete and a bodybuilder.
yes.
Whatever you take, whatever gear you take, whatever you use, it's not going to help you. I have pros have told me, other people tell me, says, hey, you can take the shit I'm taking, but if you don't follow those guidelines, you just stick to your diet, don't stick to your plan,
Hmm.
you're not going to look like us. You're not going to be as big or develop as us because y'all work hard. Y'all
This is
follow
true.
a plan. And you mentioned again your coach, Sharon Hinton,
Hmm.
amazing lady. She also served our country. She's number
Yes.
3 in the world. I feel like she fits the aesthetic for women's physique more than the current champion.
Ab-
I know, yeah, I know a gentleman. I know he worked with her a few years ago. His name is Glenn. He runs Amazon Fitness. He's in Rayford. If you know Rayford is.
okay.
Yeah, he does a yeah,
Right. You said Rayford
yeah, Rayford.
in North Carolina?
Yeah,
I love it. Come through, North Carolina.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. He has his own magazine and his own he does photography and work with your body. I'll shoot you a link and check him out. Maybe you can reach out
Yeah,
to him
please.
in the future. He loves working with
Ooh,
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you do some modeling
nice.
too. Yeah. We have your comment from my man KL. He
Rayford.
uh says, are you content competing in bikini or would you move or want to move on to another division in the future? So where are you
That's a
at
good
right
question.
now? Where are you feel like you're at right now as a competitor?
Okay, so that is a phenomenal question. From it's of course I'm good. I see the same body every day. So when other people come and they approach me, a lot of people confuse my division. They automatically assume that I'm not doing bikini. They think what has someone said?
Figure,
Physique? Figure,
figure.
figure. Someone that actually said, "Are you a figure competitor?" I'm like, absolutely not. I have nowhere close to having the upper body build well, for me, that's the way I feel. I don't feel like I have the build, but as of now, I'm content with bikini because I feel like I haven't really done my best in that division just yet. And before I decide to jump into another division, I want to perfect what I'm doing for what I'm doing now at the present moment, and then maybe think about it in the future. But yeah, I've had people to think I've done figure, or they think I'm a figure competitor. Which do
Mhm.
you? I mean, is that? Do you think?
Well, here's the thing. I interviewed a young lady. She just turned pro at nationals
Hmm.
last month. Her name is Jessica. Jessica physique. She turned pro as a bikini competitor. Her
Yeah.
physique is just. It looks like it could be figure. Maybe when figure first started compared to what it is
Mm.
now. And instead again, we talk about a division that I'm not a fan of. Is excuse me, Hapui, the fit model division. I'm gonna be like this. I am too much of a fan of these divisions. I'm like I said again. I'm getting to your division. I interview a fit model eventually, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of maybe just a fan of particular divisions. And
Hmm.
if you look at it, has the divisions have kind of evolved over the years. Bikini was
Hmm.
brought in because way divisions like physique, well, physique wasn't up on yet. Physique didn't start yet. Like at the time, you
Hmm.
had women's bodybuilding, you had figure, and you had
Yeah.
fitness. And those
Right.
divisions were, I think the higher ups didn't like the way women's bodybuilding was developing because
Hmm.
the women were getting bigger, getting harder, and even women in figure were getting just as big and hard. You look at it now, the figure girls look like physique competitors when they first
Physique
started.
girl. This is true.
Yeah, yeah, like particularly someone like you look at Jessica Reyes Padilla, Lola Montez. You
Hmm.
look at quite a
I
few
love
others.
Lola.
I think there's a young lady. She's from South Carolina. Her name is Tessa Metz, and
You're
her
gonna have to
physique.
show me.
Well, I think I got a picture of her. Let me go in here real
Yeah.
quick into my files here, folks.
Right.
And you can see she is from South Carolina, and she
Hmm.
competed last year at the Charlotte Pro, and she earned
Nice.
her first Olympia qualification. This year the Charlotte Pro did not have figure; they just have bodybuilding.
Fantastic.
And
Uh-huh.
uh, here is Tessa. She's the one right here
Nice.
in the blue, and
Oh,
this is
yes, yes, yes.
Ann
Oh,
Gruber. She won the
fabulous.
women's physique division at the Triple O Dynasty. If you look at
Nice.
these two, you would think one is physique, one is women's bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't think one's figure and one's physique because we
This is
talked about
true.
this. Yeah, we do a podcast on Monday. We talk about stuff that's going on in the world of bodybuilding. So yeah, it is about how the competitor develops. And I know some ladies who I've seen say, "Hey, why did you do physique instead of women's bodybuilding?"
Mm,
Or why did you do division? Because they say that they feel comfortable where they're at.
that's right. I feel comfortable where I'm at right now. And again, I haven't even begun to even have my body in its best condition yet. And before I sit here and want to jump to something else, I want to get that portion correct first and see what I can do with bikini. Plus, also too, I feel like bikini more so meshes with my personality for sure. Just the way how my mannerisms, how I move, stuff of that sort, it more so fits me. So that's another reason why I want to stick to it. It really embodies me in its completion for sure.
Yeah,
So.
I think it's very more of a feminine division if you look at it compared to the others.
Hmm.
You're on the stage, you have to wear the high heels. You don't do a lot of flexing, but you
Yeah.
have to move and walk a certain way. And I think that's why it's
Hmm.
one of the more popular division next to wellness. We have a
Right.
comment from my man, my man, KL. He says, "I do like your arms, Cameron. Cameron, how
Yes.
often you work out on them?" Yeah, there you go, guys.
Oh,
You got a little flex, so yo.
yes. We got a little flex or
You got a
whatever.
little flex. So okay, guys, throw your tissue lotion. You're good. So
Listen, so that is something that I did talk to my coach about the other day. That is something that who is it? Mr. Rudy. I had my last competition was in October of last year. That competition I actually won. I won twice in Boca Raton. So with that one, the head judge Rudy did state that my arms were getting a little too big, which I've always had really defined arms. So for me, doing my training, I train 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. I do upper body. I do a pull day. I do a shoulder and back day, which is my all-time favorite. I love training shoulders and back. So I'll say between like 2 to 3 days a week. But it's just light weights, easy movements, nothing too extreme. Because again, for me, I can go grocery shopping, bring some grocery bags in the house, and my veins are like popping like no tomorrow. Like I went and had a full pump. So that's something I have to be extremely careful with. But yeah, about 2 to 3 times a week. I
yeah,
love training upper body. I love training upper body.
that's the thing is you have to work on certain things that don't make you too big, but still bring in conditioning a certain look.
Yes.
I think with bikini, you don't want your girls to have too much gyration of glutes. They want your
Yes.
shoulders to be too caps. They want too much definition in your abs. You have to have that
Hmm.
nice, smooth, feminine look. That's why they're
Right.
bringing in the new division in because it's supposed to be a throwback. But here I say like this: when you
Oh
bring something in,
man.
especially how influential and effective bodybuilding can be, it won't be long for that division even transform into the division supposed to replace. You look at women's physique, how
Mm.
it was brought in to replace women's bodybuilding. And look at now, some of the competitors could do it. I've seen ladies, I'm in ladies
Yes.
that jumped from physique. Or there's one lady who I follow, Ashley Jones. She was doing figure, physique, and now she's number 3 in the world in women's bodybuilding. Here
Oh
we got
wow.
a comment from Mickey. He's a fan. He says, "I was hoping for a bicep flex, but that flex
You want a
was all right."
bicep flex? How do
You
you
don't
want
have
it
to
for the
do it. You don't have to
side?
do because he asked you. There you go. There you go. I hope you're happy. That's all they want to
You,
see. That's all they want to see. They don't care about anything
I'm
else.
gonna give it to you, baby. Yes.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, brother. Yeah, so he says this. He says, best of luck to you in bikini. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, honey. I appreciate that. Thank
He called you
you.
honey and darling. That's how he said it right here. But
I know.
while we gather here, we're going to jump to social media for a little bit. You want to follow
Okay.
her. Her links are in the description of this live stream. Check her out.
Mhm.
Reach out and support. For these ladies, no matter if they're a bikini figure, women's bodybuilding physique, especially, they do need attention, a genuine interest, and support because it's a tough
This
sport. But
is true.
guys,
It is.
out of respect to her and out of respect to her family, no weird stuff. Don't do it. I know
Don't do it.
she's a beautiful young
Don't
lady. She got a nice physique, but come on, guys.
say.
Don't come on. Come on, guys. No, behave yourself, gentlemen. Behave yourself.
Behave.
Yeah, behave
Behave.
yourself. So here he is
Okay.
in your IG. And who's this young lady right here?
Oh, that's my baby sister.
Oh,
Yes, my
baby sister having a
pose.
baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. The baby's having a baby. That's my honey buns. Oh,
Oh, yeah, I know that is. My one of my nephews, he's about to have his 10th kid.
hold on.
Yeah.
Did you say 10?
Where he was married, he got like
Oh,
three, four different baby mamas. He was one that was in the military, so he's showing his old right now.
wow. Lucky
Yeah.
10. 10 is one of my lucky numbers. So
Here's a
my
little
birth
video,
month
guys.
is 10.
Yeah, here's a little video, guys.
Yes, that's
Just the
it. Ooh,
modeling. Yeah, there you go, guys. You want
there
to
you
follow?
go.
So you want to see that, guys? That's why you go to social media. You know.
Yes. Look
And,
at me. You can't take me nowhere.
and who's this gentleman you're laying down with?
That's my hubby. That's hubby. That's my honey
Uh,
buns. We just celebrated our 18-year wedding anniversary yesterday. Ain't that something?
18 years. Congratulations.
18.
Wow.
Oh,
When y'all
forever.
two when y'all two meet?
We met in 2000 and I moved to Fayetteville in '05. I met him in '06, May of '06. Yeah, it's funny because I met my husband online.
Oh,
When online was good, when dating online was safe. I can't say the same present day, but 18 years ago, 18, 20 years ago was completely different. So yeah, that's when I met my baby. But again, yeah, he was the one that encouraged me to begin lifting weights. And it was someone I was working out at Planet Fitness, and it was a gentleman from Texas. He was a gym owner, and he said, I hope you're training for a competition." I was like, "Competition?" Had no clue about it whatsoever. And he was the one that put me on about getting into doing a show. And my first show was Dexter Jackson. So yeah, shouts out to him. If I can't even remember his name. But again, it's crazy when other people, when they see you, they see something different. And it's always the strangers that's going to give you the most encouragement. So
well, that's good.
yeah.
It's that old term says sometimes you rely on the kindness of strangers, as they often say.
Okay.
Yeah. And here's who's this
Love it.
lady here dancing with you, hanging out
That's
with you?
my one of my good friends here in Jacksonville. That I call her my baby mama. That's my
Oh,
baby mama. She's so kind. She's so sweet. Her name is Darian. But
oh,
yeah, she's absolutely fantastic. I love
yeah.
her so much.
Now you were in the military. How long was that, and what was your ranking position at the time?
So I did 7 years. I was Army, and I was in from '04 to 2011. Yeah.
Mm.
'04 to 2011. I was a 92 Alpha, which is a automated logistical specialist. So I worked in supply in the warehouse. So
So,
that's
so
what I
you,
predominantly did.
so you were in the rear with the gear.
I was the one that passed it, passed out all the supplies. Ain't that
I,
something? I heard it.
yeah,
I heard it. I love it. I love it.
yeah. Like I said, I know quite a few military people, and my family members have done it. So yeah, there you
I
go.
love it.
Yeah, you were the rear with the gear. But yeah, here you did the this is the show you did was
Yeah,
the
that's the show I won. Boca Raton.
yeah. I know a lady who
Yes.
competed that show. She competed there. And it's a you done a pretty
Yes.
good show. What like I
Oh,
said,
it's
what's that experience like for you on the stage? But again, especially
Oh,
winning
wow.
opportunity. This show qualifies you for nationals, right?
Yes, we're going pro this year. That's what we aiming for this year. So yeah, my first show is going to be in Charleston, South Carolina, Junior USA. Oh, I love that look. I was so happy about that look. That experience in particular is so funny because I didn't even realize I had won. I was backstage bragging about my coach, not even realizing I was called to give my award. They came back behind the stage and they was like, Cameryn, get back out here. You won? I said, oh my Lord. I didn't say that, but I'm gonna put it that way. PG-13 version.
Okay.
But oh God, that was absolutely amazing. When on stage, I kept in mind not to hype myself up. Don't get into your head so much. Don't pay attention to the other girls. It's all about what you're going to provide on that stage because you're going to give something different. That's what I always have to keep in my head over and over again. Don't get overly excited. Have fun and just do the best that you can. Present what you have worked so hard for. That's
Yeah.
it. But it's
What
an
with
amazing thing.
bodybuilding, it's not much about you against another competitor. It's about you versus you because
Absolutely.
you have to put in the work at a time. And like I said, guys, even though I'm not a fan of bikini as much, but she has a beautiful body. I mean,
Ah,
it's
thank
just
you.
here. One thing is, I just love beautiful chocolate women with muscle. It's just,
Yes.
it's just a beautiful thing. The work, the training, the regimen, the dieting. So much involved with it. Everyday people don't understand. Here she is. She's flexing a little muscle, guys. So
Yes, Brandon, he's so awesome. His backstory, he was in a motorcycle accident, and I ride bikes too. How about it? So he was in a motorcycle accident, and again, when I walk into the gym, it's work for me. I am focused. I'm going in there with a purpose. I'm going in there to move weight with intent, have a good time, and the whole duration when I'm training and working out. He was watching me the whole time and said that I inspired him. And again, that's the biggest reward for me is when someone comes up to me and tell me they've been watching me for like the past year or the past year and a half, and they've been just amazed with my work ethic, how they see I don't skip my meals. I bring my meal prep to the gym when I train, all that jazz. That is the most incredible feeling to be able to provide that type of um example for others. And again, I feel like if I can do it, anybody can. That
mhm.
there's no excuse whatsoever. That Brandon again, he was in a motorcycle accident and he do not skip a day of the gym whatsoever
Mhm.
with his
Hey,
cane every day.
yeah, because you know what? That thing about bodybuilding that most people don't understand that you have to be consistent. You have to be
Absolutely.
disciplined. Motivation
Mm.
can change from one day to the next,
Oh
but you
yes.
have to really understand what's involved with it. Not just again, people say trust the process, but understand the process. And then you understand it,
Absolutely.
you trust it. So you're going to do Junior USA's.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. In I think Charleston. I know a gentleman. He's from Charleston.
Okay.
His name is Russ G. He also do photography too.
Okay.
I'll see you this week if you want to check him out. Maybe
Please
check him out.
do.
Yeah, yeah.
Please do.
Because
Absolutely.
I know a lot of you ladies use this for your platform to get
Mm.
recognition, also your social media and sponsorship. Are you a sponsored athlete?
I am not. This that is something it's again, I am the best cheerleader for others, but I'm learning to cheer for myself. I love being in the background, and that's it's so many reasons why I got into bodybuilding. I enjoy being in the background. I don't like being to the forefront, which people get a little confused when I say that because they see how bubbly I am, how vibrant I am. Um, I just like being in the background, but I had to again. I'm in the phase of teaching myself it's okay to be proud of what you work hard for. You can't just keep cheering for other people and not cheer for yourself. That's not how that works. You're going to have to cheer for yourself. So I'm trying to get myself out of just thinking I need to remain in the background and bring what I do to the forefront so I can actually get the acknowledgement that I deserve. So at the present moment, no, I am not sponsored, but that's what we're working on. We are working on getting sponsored.
Yeah.
We
Sponsorship
are.
does help for your competitors out there who are competing because bodybuilding, especially as an amateur, is a special sport.
Mhm.
It's a fringe sport. It's not as popular. Tomorrow we will have a live stream discussion on my muscle talk where we talk about how bodybuilding is very worldwide.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've interviewed ladies from as far as Australia, South Africa,
Oh,
Great
that is
Britain.
awesome.
Yeah, with those two countries, South Africa and Great Britain, you have to either get early in the morning or try to get them at night. So yeah, that's the thing.
Okay. No,
Yeah,
you got to let me know so I can chime in. That is absolutely astonishing. That is amazing.
yeah,
That is
yeah.
amazing.
Because like I said, it has gone worldwide. I mean, but
Hmm.
it still seems a free sport because most people wouldn't know people like you mentioned earlier, like Sharonka Hitton or quite a few
Hmm.
other competitors in the division. Like one lady who I'm a fan of, and I think she really was a lady who, in my heart to heart,
Hmm.
she came along at a time when women's bodybuilding was going through some hard times. And she came
Mm.
along, she saved it, and that is the lovely Miss Andrea Shaw.
Yes, Miss. That's Miss Purdy Muscle. Yes,
Yes, I
she's
gotta
absolutely amazing. Oh
I gotta
God,
say, I my man Kim may hate this because he hates when I I gotta toot my own horn because
toot it,
because like
toot
my
it.
old school wrestler of the game. If I'm saying like like I'm the game, not that damn good, Triple H. But also another guy tells me this says if you're good at something, never do it for free, and that's what I'm good at. And this is not kidding. A while
I
back,
love it.
a friend of mine, she was at the Olympia back in 2023.
Hmm.
And this is the issue of Andrea on the cover of Must Development.
Oh gosh, man,
She took the time out. She saw Andrea and she talked to her, and
so fabulous.
and then Andrea did this. She signed
Oh,
it. She signed it, and
oh my
she tells
God,
how much she appreciates my support, and she loves me. She loves me. My baby
I
loves
love
me.
her too.
Yeah,
She is absolutely,
I
and
mean, one
I
of these
follow
days,
her.
I would love to have her on here. I know I sound stalkerish when I talk about her, but I think she's so beautiful. She really,
She
as I
is.
said again, she
She's
came along and
gorgeous.
saved bodybuilding when he needed it. Is it somebody
Mm.
other than Sharonica that you're a fan of that you follow in sport?
Oh, another person I follow is so many people that I follow that I'm a huge fan of. Hmm. I am following. Who do I enjoy the most? That pops up the most.
You feel like you want you somebody from your division or somebody from another division? It's up to you.
Oh, I'm trying to think. What? Oh, Maureen. I can't even begin to pronounce her last name, but she's a bikini competitor, Belisco or something like that. As a matter of fact, she was crowned Miss Olympia 2022. She is by far like one of my all-time favorites. Anything that she posts, I'm clicking like. Can I go above like love? Like, can we do more? Anything she posts and the way she moves, the way she poses, the eye contact that she gives the judges when she's on stage, her confidence, her look, it's just everything about her. And when you know what, that is probably one of the athletes. I'm one of those ones will run the opposite direction whenever I see anybody. I don't no. I'm so petrified and so scared. But if I ever see her, she is absolutely incredible. Um, I'm trying to think who else off the top of my head. Sean, he does classic in 212. He
Sean
is he
Kalita?
Sean
Sean
short gentleman?
Kalita? Sean Kalita?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
Sean
love
Kalita.
him.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely impeccable. Love his all his energy and the pieces of equipment that he what he works out on, what he trains on. pieces of equipment I've never seen before. But if I'm thinking correctly, he has his own personal gym. I think he calls it his jungle gym or something like that. Anything he posts on IG, I'm loving. Corey Morris, he's another one that I absolutely love and enjoy. Ryan Clark, I just started following him. He's absolutely amazing. Love his work ethic, his look, aesthetic, everything's just impeccable. Um, hmm, that's pretty much all I can think of off the top of my head. That's crazy.
Yeah, I like I said,
Yeah.
I don't follow the guys as much because it may not be the '80s, but I'm down with the ladies.
Yes,
But
yes.
I do pay attention. I be aware of the guys like Chris Sebum, he's very popular.
Yes, yes, yes.
There's Derek Lundqvist, Samson Dua, who's the current Mr. Olympia champion. You know,
Love Samson. Samson's
great
dope too.
story about this guy. I know people that know him. I got some guys who I know who are friends of his and know him.
Mm,
Um, everybody has the people they like. I mean, it's just this sport. It is again. It's a small community, but it has gone worldwide.
it
We have
has.
here a comment from my man. Shout to my man KL Wonder. He says, uh,
What is that?
"I'm gonna get me a Southern wife." Well, we can't have this one, but she's already married. But yeah,
The best decision of your life, I promise.
also, he says this. He says, "Dude, get over the fitness model. It is here to stay. Whatever.
He is
It's
so upset.
fit model. It's fit model." And he says this. He says because he's a hater. He says, "Cameryn, don't know what is to say entertaining this madness, but
I said, bless
bless
your
your
heart.
heart." Well, to quote my man, the other guy, he says, like, I'm just a particular criminal. I have
I love
anarchy and
it.
chaos. And sometimes it's good to be mad. It's good to have madness because sometimes you can tell the difference between madness and love. It's almost the same some levels.
I love it.
So,
Oh,
I'm
I
sorry. I'm
love
sorry
it.
about him. I'm sorry about him.
Never, never
So
apologize. I love it.
yeah, you should never apologize who you are. But yeah, I
Okay.
think this sport it takes a lot of time. The work sacrifice. Your training regimen.
Yes.
What's it like doing your day when you're training, doing your week? Like, what's those exercises that I love them so much, and exercises? Damn, I gotta do this shit.
Listen, you got me getting, I'm getting louder and louder. That Wilson is coming out for sure. So again, I train 6 days a week. Monday through Saturday, Sunday is my off day. But so do you want to know the breakdown of what my training program is? Is that what
Yeah,
you're
go ahead.
asking?
You break it down.
Yeah. Okay. So Monday, so I do glutes and legs three times a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, those are my leg days. So glutes and hammies on Monday, then on Tuesday, that's going to be back and shoulders. Wednesday is glutes again, is glutes and quads. And Thursday is considered that is my push day. So on that'll be like shoulder press. That's gonna be like hammer curls, that type deal. Friday is another glute day, so we do glutes and abs on Friday. Saturday is gonna be my pull day. So again, it's more so like more like pull ups until failure. Then I do like lat work. I'll do like some tricep work, all that good jazz. So yeah, that is the breakdown. And then I do fasted cardio, top of the morning. As soon as I wake up, put on my waist trainer, put on some big old baggy sweatshirt, baggy pants, sweatpants, go out, walk in my neighborhood, and then I'll do my elliptical machine for like 30 minutes. So yeah, it's intense. And then you got to implement the eating 6 times a day too. It is by far one of the most challenging things. And that's what I try to explain to people. It may look easy, but when I tell you it is difficult, baby, if you are not chimed in completion, or you going through something really dramatic, a lot of stress, don't even do it. There's no way. You're gonna have to give your all. It's either give your all or your body's most definitely gonna it's gonna tell. get like provide those telltale signs of something is off. It's not. This ain't the right time. So yeah, my day literally starts at the top of the morning around about 7, and then it ends around about 5. Actually, no, you can't even really say 5 because you still, when I get home, I still got to continue to eat. Eating is a part of the process too. That's a part of the job. So no, I can't even say that. Probably around
Mhm.
about 8, 9. Yeah,
That's a lot of
yeah,
work. Like I said, that's
it
why
is.
like everything other people couldn't do what y'all do. To
Mm,
get up, to do the diet, the cardio, you're doing 3 days leg day, and most people don't like most bodybuilders don't like leg day. They might have
no.
they have to like they have to force themselves to do because leg day. As I talk about this, I compare leg day to the episode of Chappelle's Show when
Which
Charlie Murphy
one?
meets Rick James, and they go back to Eddie's house, and remember Rick is
Ah!
like, "If your couch, Eddie Murphy," and then Rick and Eddie and
Stop,
Charlie
stop.
beat his legs. That's the way most bodybuilders don't like. But the thing is, like, you have
Oh
to
man, I
work.
tell you.
Yeah, you have to work on those aesthetics because you want to be a complete athlete. You have to work on your weaknesses as much as your strength. Like
Oh
from
yes.
the UGB show, what was critique from the judges? What did they tell you did like on it?
Oh, that's a good question. So my critique was the glutes. So I needed more roundness, and he stated that I needed to have more muscle maturity in that area. So that was pretty much the only feedback. Thankfully, that was pretty much it. Glutes. He said upper body was good. He said be careful with the biceps because they can look like they can be a little over dominant on a part of my upper body. So yeah, it was just glutes for the most part. So yeah, and I can understand why he stated that because again, in bikini, that is the main thing they look at is the glutes and the hamstring tightens that area. Um, and for me, that is kind of challenging. Well, for a lot of women, for the most part, because we carry a lot of our weight in the thigh area, the bottom area. And let's be real, I'm a black woman, so let's keep it 100, okay? Yeah, that's what it is. You about to get the real side of me in a
Go ahead, go ahead, go get we're adults here.
second.
We're adults here.
No. So that
Let it
was the
out.
feedback. That was what I got. So yeah, we just had to work on the glutes, and again, that takes time. That just lower body in general. That takes some time. So
Mhm.
yeah, we continue to work on that, and that's another reason why I do lower body 3 times a week. So yeah.
Yeah, because like you look at the girls that with wellness, and with those competitors, you have to have those strong Afro aesthetics. That's why Brazilians do so well because they do
Yes.
have that African descent in them. That's why they do so well in that division. That's why I think the most of champions in the Olympia are mostly Brazilian because they do have the
Mm,
thicker thighs, the
yes.
heavier and the lower the waist compared to if you're white or if you are Asian. I think one guy, I think my man Kale knows Lily Dong, and she does pretty
Mm.
well. And
Who is it again?
her name is Lily Dong.
I'm trying to think. That sounds familiar.
Yeah,
And she's a wellness girl?
yeah, she's I think she's
Yeah.
Chinese. And
That
you
name sounds so
know,
familiar.
yeah, you probably I'll if I get a chance I'll see because I know Kale he follows her, he's a fan of her. But
Yeah.
yeah, and so again with black women, y'all do have the more high BMI compared to maybe women who are Asian or Latino or well I think Latino is kind of like about the same or white women
Yeah.
because and one thing is women overall you do have more body mass index than men because it'll take
Mm-hmm.
us guys long. Because at one point I was almost 500 pounds because I was taking my mom so long, and then I decided
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to lose a little weight because I have a pacemaker. Had it for 10 years because I
Oh,
had a heart attack.
wow.
I had my first heart attack when I was 39 years old. And
Whoa.
yeah, I wasn't. I was working I was working like jobs back and forth, and at one point I had two
Yeah.
jobs at the same time. And the thing is, especially
Oof.
as Black people, we need to learn how to take care of ourselves because we are,
Absolutely.
diabetes runs in my family, high blood pressure, cholesterol, all that stuff. I try to eat a little healthier because one point I went down from nearly 500 to a little under 400. But
Look at you.
I'm not perfect because
It doesn't matter. That is
this,
a huge feat. Be
this
proud of
morning
yourself.
This morning I had a rib sandwich and some chips. So And
Oh gosh, and there you go again, just crushing my world, talking about ribs while I eat and survive
that's
off of air and water.
yeah. I'm sorry, because I'm
Oh,
not being a
oh,
bodybuilder. I'm a fat man. As a fat man, I do what I
oh,
do. I try to be smart.
me
Like I
too.
might have some, I might have some, baked chicken or some veggies, little
That's
rice.
good. There you
I
go.
do that, but still, I do like the good stuff every now and then. I know my sister's gonna be
I
proud of me. I'm like, go
know.
see what she got. But after that
Oh
show,
my
I also
God.
ask you ladies this question, especially
Yes.
coming on fat man. What was that thing that you wanted, Cameron? That thing will make you stronger, make you stranger. Ha 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 ha. What did you and the hubby get to do after the show? What you got to eat?
What did I eat after the show?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, here we go. So I am a real eater. I do not play around. When it's time to eat, do not talk to me. I'm hungry. Listen, my go-to is pizza. And let me tell you, I can eat a whole pizza by myself. My coach gave me a cheat meal. I ate a whole extra large pizza by myself. Do not add. Yes, I can. I can put it away. Don't worry
Fine.
about it. I got it.
Fine.
Pizza, a burger and fries. I love donuts. OMG. The hardest part is letting go of my donuts and cookies. Soon as I'm done, give me all that. Yeah, I want all of that. Can I have some? No, you may not. You better get your own. You understand?
You
Oh.
like Oliver Twist? Please, sir, can I have some more, sir? But
Okay.
yeah. But that thing is that it's good to get an opportunity to eat that every now and then. It's not a
Yes,
thing you eat every day because it's nice because understand this food is part of the process as a bodybuilder as you grow. It's about the
absolutely.
right foods. We said earlier, the right proteins, the right micros, everything that's
Hmm.
involved in it. And quite a few ladies I know who love their sweets, they love the donuts, they love the ice cream, they love the
Oh,
nice,
mm,
burgers and fries. I had
oh,
some ladies tell me that their favorite after contest is sushi. I'm like this, sweetheart. I grew up poor, but I've never been so poor where I had to eat cold raw fish.
mm.
That's never been me.
He
But
said, no,
yeah,
I don't want it.
everybody has the things that really helps them get along, especially as a competitor. We have
Mm.
here, this is from my man, shout for man, Darren Hamer. He says, "Are you Bikini? Just joined the chat, and yes, we are blessed with the genetics. So
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. So
Hey, Dorian, honey bunny.
yeah.
Yes, I
I
am
think
bikini, honey. That's what
yeah,
we are doing at the present moment. Bikini, at, like I stated earlier, I'm just going to continue working within the bikini division because, again, that meshes more with me and my personality. And plus, I don't feel like I've hit the pinnacle within that division just yet. I know
yeah,
I have way more in me, way more that I can produce and provide with my body composition. So
yeah.
yeah, we're bikini, honey.
Yeah. So yeah, she mentioned earlier about the judge says muscle maturity. Another thing is when you say muscle maturity in your division, it's kind of like to me, in my mind, it's an oxymoron. Because
Yeah.
when I say muscle maturity, I will most definitely go with where's bodybuilding, physique, even
Hmm.
somewhat in divisions like figure. But this thing is that's the problem is that if you feel like these divisions are getting to the point where they are almost intersecting, where you can see
Mm,
girls cross over to bikini and do figure. You can see women cross over from figure and do physique. You can see physique cross over
hmm.
from to other divisions. You
Yeah.
know, and the thing is, the judges they have a lot of control when it comes to it. If you want a certain look, and again, as you bring this new division in, why not stick with the criteria that was set for the division instead of like telling girls? I understand the certain things of it, but then after a while, it's just that way, especially instead again the training. You can start out just light
Hmm.
training, then you do heavy training, and your diet
Right.
change. It's
Hmm.
just so much that where is the guidelines? Where is everything stopped? It separates one division from
Absolutely.
the other.
That's right. I totally agree. It's just too much gray area going on. It's not. It's not concrete, pretty much. That's just the way it is. And uh, honestly, even as a black competitor, I've this is what year 4 for me. I had one judge that that told me that I was too ethnic for my feedback. That threw me off. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. That's exactly what was said to me. I was too ethnic. And if you go on my profile, you'll see I did the Deke Warner show. That show I had one, and I decided to wear an afro. And yeah, oh no, it was Dexter first. Dexter, that's when I presented my fro. Came in second. I believe I lost it by like a point or two, and that was the reason why they stated that I was too ethnic. There was no feedback about my physique, my body, nothing of the sort. I was just told I was too ethnic. Come back probably about 2 weeks later, did my fro just a little different. I think I did like a part down the middle. It was a little bit smaller because I've always been a natural girly for years. And I actually feel more confident with my natural hair because you don't normally see a lot of black women that feel comfortable with it, with their natural state of their hair. So I thought it would be really cool to actually be one of the ones that's a little different. I feel like that's how I can separate myself from the other women on stage with my hair, my natural hair, my fro. Saw me 2 weeks later, didn't even realize it was me, and stated that, "Oh, I love your look. You look so different." I'm sitting here thinking, like, you don't even recall telling me and my coach a couple weeks prior that I was too ethnic and said nothing about my physique, nothing at all. So that is something I hope will change in the future. Is for women, for black women, to where it's not a problem or we get docked because of our natural hair. Like what we're naturally born with, we're going to get docked for. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, it's funny how you realize how much prejudice and racism in a sport like bodybuilding is, but it is. It's prevalent in everything in this world. And
absolutely.
to quote my man Bernie Mac, he said like this: says, "If people don't like you, fuck them." That's straight
I
up. That
love
I'm going to say
Bernie.
that. You love Bernie, he said, great comedian, great actor. I mean, it's just saying that if it's not something that you like, here's the thing is,
Mm,
don't look at that. Pay attention what you come to pay attention to. That's the physique of the
that
body.
part,
If you have a look
absolutely.
that you're proud of, you should be proud of it. Especially us as a black community, we are a broken people. A lot of stuff we went through a lot of stuff. You know,
Yeah.
I can track my family ancestors to like I'm 4 generations away from slavery. Most people say I'm 8 or 10. I'm a little closer because my
Mm.
family was sharecroppers. We lived in
Oh
right here in
wow.
sharecroppers. Yeah, that's tough work if you did it. I did it a little bit when I was younger. People need to understand everybody's not going to be as they consider the standard of what it is. Everybody, and like I said again, as a black man, I grew up with my mother, 3 older sisters. I love women generally, but I love black women most of all because that's what I grew up with. I respect
Okay.
y'all ladies. Most of the ladies who I follow, who I'm a fan of, are black women in bodybuilding. But
Hmm.
I also love the other women, other ethnicities, not race, because we're all humans. We're all the same race.
Right.
You know, I admire anybody who has their own style, their own look. And often people go about things say natural. Is there anything such thing as natural? There's natural bodybuilding. It's a totally different look from here. But instead again with
Yes.
that, the idea of building a body, it does take a lot of time and work. And people do use, a peptide, use, a pad to use that. That's only a
Hmm.
small factor of the process. But because in the
Very
mindset of
small.
everyday people, it's like cheating. No, it's not cheating. It's no different from any athlete who use anything to help them. They try to, help your training or help you do the
Hmm.
process. But if you
Yep.
don't understand it, that's why I try to do, conversations where we talk about how understand what's involved in the process, understand the
Yes.
work that's in the consistency, the dieting, area that's involved. But it's not as easy as you think. If you're not able to do it, then don't do it and don't talk
It
about it.
surely ain't.
Yeah. Here we get here from Doriana. It says, "Hey, LOL, your energy same here, but haven't stepped on stage yet." Well, I hope so. You get an
Why
opportunity.
not? What's holding you back?
Say, wow, that's crazy. What nationality was the judge? Not that should matter, but curious.
It of course He's Caucasian.
Yeah, we call he's Blanco,
Yeah.
so whoever. So there, he probably was older
Yeah.
too, so older, whatever. But like I said
Yeah.
again,
Oh,
you do you, baby doll. You do you.
okay.
You
Absolutely.
you go on stage, you represent yourself, your man, your family, and what's your family thought of it? Especially, other than your husband, he supports you. What about the rest of your family?
Oh, they think it's actually pretty cool. See, I have boys and I have four boys. All my kids, I don't have no small kids. My son is 22, three bonus babies. But again, my husband and I have been together for like 20 years in July. So my kids, they think it's actually pretty cool and pretty dope that their mom is a bodybuilder. Not to mention also too, um, they are by far the biggest supporters that I have. Like I mean, besides the like I said, you get more support. I feel like from strangers, but my kids they think that is the dopest thing ever. Their mom is a bodybuilder, man. We going pro. It's just only a matter of time. They think it's phenomenal. So yeah, that's what gives me even more motivation too. I got to keep up with my kids, and they know, don't play with me. I will knock you out. Huh? Yeah.
No, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
Like I
Don't
said,
play.
I grew up with my mother and three older sisters. I have respect for a woman. I know how far to go and not to go with them. Uh,
Okay.
like I said, work quite a few jobs coming up. One of my first jobs, I used to work at a gas station. I worked with women a lot. Then I worked in
Okay.
textiles. I worked with women from sun up to sundown. And then I
Mm.
worked in a strip club. So I did that.
Don't cover your mouth on that. You
Yes,
said it. Say it. Don't even cover your mouth. Say it out loud.
I worked in a strip club. Or if
Yes.
you're in the hood, it's the booty club. So
Yes.
it was a little couple.
Don't
It
get
was a
me
little.
cut up.
It was a little. It was a little joint. It's a little joint a few miles from where I stay at. It's in South
Mhm.
Carolina. I did that on and off for a few years,
That's
and
dope.
I had guys come and say, "George, man, you work at a strip club." I had still guys, who come out to me and say, "Man, back then we work at a club." It's not like all, as I keep saying this, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, fellas. It's a good
Okay.
night. The girls make their money. That's good. It's a bad night. Sometimes I've even broken up fights between strippers because women, y'all can be volatile.
I know. Listen, that's why I stay to myself, friend. I don't. That's exactly why I enjoy this journey because I'm doing it for me. I do it by myself. I don't need. Well, I wouldn't say I don't need no extra help because I mean we all going to need some help in some area. But that's exactly why I do this because I trust myself. Like you said, the women they can be quite catty for sure. And talking about that on the subject of that, it'd be nice if more women would actually support. I haven't come across a community to where the women would really, like really pour into you. You see more men that do it, and I have more men that have come up to me and ask me questions or more in awe than anything than the women to see him just put their nose up and stuff like that. And I'm sitting here thinking like I'm the coolest, like probably one of the coolest chicks in here. You just sitting here just looking, taking myself for face value instead of coming and talk to me. We can actually learn a lot from each other. Male bodybuilders do that all the time. Female, not so much. I really wish that would change. Again, I haven't come across it just yet. Maybe sometime down the line, but yeah,
Well,
hopefully
I
that'll
think
change.
as men, we're taught, brotherhood almost, because especially we come together with each other. We have bonds, and also we can be competitive. You
Yes,
Sometimes guys we get in a fight with each other, but then end up becoming best friends.
that's the
Women,
whole. Exactly, exactly. Yeah,
women are just a different breed, or I don't I say breed compared to men. We're just different biology, physically
call it.
wise. Like
Yes,
what
I
I
know.
often say like this, what separates us because of biology, physiology, how we
Mm,
grow up, how we are. Also being that you're a mother of four boys. I mean, I grew up. I grew up with my older brother, my younger brother. I have two nephews. practically grew up like brothers,
Oh,
and I don't know. You're like I said, I don't know if I could go to my a show and with my husband and my boys, and it's this chocolate, beautiful goddess on stage, and they say, hey mom,"
I
and we say,
know.
"Who's that chick?" Yeah, yeah. If you say
Okay.
hot chick, I mean, like if you say, "Hey, that's my wife," that's our mama. Boom, boom. You'd be like, But it's good that you have that support with them,
Yeah.
because you're to quote, my mother was my woman, and I will say this. I always say a story. I always remember this lady who told me this to me while I used to work with her. She said, "George,
Mhm.
you stay with your mama, son." I said, "Yes, ma'am, I do." I said, "Well, son,
Yeah.
stay with your mama with you as long as you need to. Do what you
Yes,
got to do
sir.
as a man, but come back home to your mama." And I stuck to that.
Okay. This is true.
And we want the best for you because you're the number one woman in our life. Wife,
Mm.
girlfriends come and go. Like I said, my mother's been gone for about 6 years. You can never replace
Oh,
her. Other than children, that's the only people that can hold a very strong part of your heart.
yeah.
And it's good that they stand by you. Even your husband stand by you because, again, this boy's tough. There's
It's
people
very
who
tough.
have their prejudice. I've talked to ladies who have to deal with people making comments like, "She's getting too muscular. Is that time to be a man? Well, are you transgender? Ah, yeah, 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 ah, yeah, yeah." And it's often guys that look like me who saying that.
It's the craziest stuff. I've actually had somebody that asked me that same question too. No lie. If I was trans, I'm like, because I got muscles? What? Some of the most ignorant things you can ever think of. This is accurate. Yes. I've had the same question. I'm like, why did you ask that, honey? Tell me why. Explain that to me. Because of the muscles.
I mean, you were very athletic. You would take track and field. I played football in high school. Cheerleaders used to have
Yes.
muscle because you had to be girl carrying or holding a girl in the bottom. I
Yes.
mean, girls in track. Some of those ladies are just amazing physiques because
Cut. Yes.
here's the thing is when women have muscle, it kind of breaks the idea of what is feminine.
Yes.
And I say this quite often. Men's purpose of life is to battle, breed, and die. That's it. Women, you
Mm,
are nurturers. You take care of our children. You take care of our homes. You're supposed
mm.
to be soft and feminine. Like I said, I was a
Yes.
strip club. The girls were like boom, 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 boom. But
Exactly.
here's the thing: you are an athlete and you have to build your body to compete in a sport like bodybuilding, like NBC, IFBB,
Yes.
organizations where you had to represent yourself. You just can't come in like any other person. But here is also we have the flip side, like the guys who's like my man KL.
Mm-hmm.
He's more a fan of the muscle part of women's body of female bodybuilding. He is the sport itself. There's guys
Mm-hmm.
that like say, "Hey, yeah, that's a pretty piece of chocolate you're talking to. She got a lot of muscles." But here the thing is, you have to respect the person that you are as an athlete,
Mm-hmm.
as you grow, as you
Yes.
develop, and the work you put in, the time you put in, and the sacrifice you have to make. Because sometimes there's times that know your boys are growing up now, but still like to
Mm,
spend more time with their mom, and the family. But then you have to get ready for a show. You got a show coming up in another 7 weeks. You got to you have to follow your request recovery. You can't go
yep.
out like you used to back in the day.
Nope.
You have to be consistent and disciplined as a bodybuilder.
Absolutely. This is true. This is I have to tell my family and friends like when I'm training, this is my time to focus on myself to get this pro card. Some people don't respect the fact that they think that I'm just going in the gym just to look cute or whatever the case may be, but not even realize when I go into that gym, I'm throwing up some serious weight. Like it's nothing to play around with. Some people don't want to give you the respect that you deserve, and they think it's just something that's temporary. Not understanding this is something this is nothing temporary. This is something that I'm gonna add permanently to my life. Like this is a lifestyle change. This is nothing that I'm just doing for now. And for me, thankfully, my kids are grown. I don't have no small kids. I'm a woman. I'm in my 40s. That's another thing, too. So I have to think about when I go out on stage, I'm competing against females that's like half my age. They ain't got no kids. They ain't got to worry about no body fat. No, they ain't got to worry about that stuff whatsoever. So I most definitely got to ensure I'm on my A game when I step on that stage, because again, I'm on stage with women in their 20s or so. So yeah, I feel like I have to fight even harder for sure. And then sometimes I've even recognized that I may be the only black female that's on stage in my category too. That I mean, I just got to keep all that stuff in mind. I mean, you and I talking in this interview, but I'm being completely realistic. I have to think about all that stuff. You know what I mean? So when I step out on stage, I'm not just stepping out there just because. I'm stepping out there with a purpose. You
Mhm.
know, so it's a
Right.
lot.
Yeah, it's tough, like especially as a woman, and especially a woman of maturity. You're dealing with these young, young girls. Most of them who, like my man Joe Moore, might say,
I love me some Martin.
yeah, saying like they're, wet behind the ears and breath smell like Similac. So
Okay,
yeah, you,
you
you heard,
funny, George. I
you
love
heard.
it.
I think I heard a while back that Tommy Davis carried character Varnell. He said, "Do you miss me?" It's supposed to be making him a show.
Do you miss me?
I think he's supposed to be making it a show. Like I think Martin's supposed to be producing and directing it. But yeah, there's so much involved with as a bodybuilder, the
Mm,
current condition, competing with people who might be younger than you. But the thing is that must mature at a different level, because some
yes.
of these young girls are still growing. But the thing is, it's a process, and too many young people want anything quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Oh,
You
you
know,
better talk about it.
yeah,
Absolutely.
because this the thing is, it takes time.
Hmm.
And we want that stuff that fast. You can burn yourself out. Was a while back we had a young lady who passed away from she was at the All-Switzer Classic and she wasn't even
Yep, I
competing.
saw that.
Yeah,
Absolutely. She wasn't even
20
competing.
20
Yep.
years old and she died from
Yep.
dehydration. She shouldn't have died from that. But
Hmm.
the story was going that her coach didn't know she was taking direction he's supposed to do. She told him about so
That's
slow.
right.
Take the
Yep.
time.
This is accurate.
Time to rush it. And also at the All-Switzer Classic, history was made. The first black woman won
How
bikini.
did I forget about her? I gotta include her in the
Dana,
bodybuilders that I follow. Yes,
Dana.
she is so graceful when she is on stage. Her posing, OMG! I gotta remind myself, Cam, close your mouth. She is freaking impeccable. I forgot. How could I?
You would think I know
Shame
it,
on
but
me.
you wouldn't think I know that because as I often quote from my favorite movie Batman Begins, my master Ra's al Ghul taught me, beware surrounded at all times. Never get still feeling for a killing blow. So
I love
that's
it.
something, yeah, it's something that is historical because generally in
Hmm.
division like bikini, you wouldn't see someone that looked like us winning.
Hmm.
It's usually going to be somebody white or maybe Latina or a lot of
Yep.
Brazilians. But we always try to make a way. We're the people who built this country off of blood, sweat, and tears. We
Mm,
are a part of it, even though we're only like a small percentage of it. It wasn't for us, there wouldn't be America. And we
mm.
always define things, make records, set things, push the boundaries, and we have to be 2 times better than the other people. Like shout
This
to my
is accurate.
shout out to a great president of Barack Obama. He had to be 2 times better, other than what they get now.
Mm.
So yeah, it's
Whole different topic.
ooh yeah. I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but we got here for Darian. She says, "Keep inspiring." Thank you so much.
Yes, thanks,
Also,
honey bun.
My man Lawrence Perkins come through and says, "Good afternoon,
Hey,
Cameryn and
Lawrence.
Joy."
How are you, darling?
Everyone in the chat appreciate that, brother. She's very friendly, folks, because she's a sophomore.
Yes. I
Yeah,
want to know is it Dorian? Dorian, the
yeah. I think
female that
Brian. Yeah, I think it's
if she's listening in, darling, why what's keeping you from getting on stage, baby? We need to see you on stage, girl.
that's your man. I hear him howling in the background.
Yeah, baby. Oh my
Tell,
God.
tell the boy come over here. Come out here, son.
You want him out here?
Come on
Come
here,
over
son.
here.
Come here, son.
He said he's trying to wait. He said no. It was
Yeah.
hubby.
Ah,
He's over
ah,
here doing housework.
so he's doing woman work, huh, boy? Okay. Okay. I understand. I understand. Yeah. All right,
I
son.
love it. I
I
love
won't
it.
bother. I won't bother the boy. I'll let him go back to his woman work.
My
All right.
kids is something else. They different.
Yeah.
OMG. They
Yeah.
be showing.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm a, us older Southern gentlemen, we don't have no filter. We get to get our pick.
Okay.
So,
And
yeah.
listen, older Southern women don't either.
Yeah, we just that's our
Hmm.
thing is. I'm not need me a woman one day, just sometimes in the morning just roll on and roll off on, but I I'm used to my solitude. Here's man Lawrence, shout out to Lawrence again says, I'm doing good, great, happy Easter, Cameron. You
Oh,
have amazing spirit and shout out to your king. Appreciate
oh, Lord, thanks, honey.
it.
I'm really proud of
He
myself on my personality, man. That's
he
another thing for
He's
me
my
for sure.
man. He's my man. He's my man. 50 grand. He knows how to talk to these ladies, especially if doing
Okay,
bodybuilding. He's a fan. He's one of my followers. I appreciate him coming through here and always showing
thanks,
support. Because
Lawrence. All right.
again, as a competitor, this is a expensive sport for y'all ladies compared to the men. The men got to wear a pair of banana hammocks and board shorts. That's it.
Mm.
Y'all ladies, the cost of traveling, the cost of coaches, the cost of food, show days is expensive because you have to have your hair, your makeup, your tan.
Oh
You know,
God,
your suits right there. That's maybe a rent or a car note. You
this is
know,
accurate. That's mortgage. What do you
yeah.
mean?
And thing is, you as an amateur, you're paying to compete at shows compared to as a pro who doesn't have, unless you're doing masters, where
Mm-hmm.
you still have to pay that. This
Or
is why
sponsors, yeah, yeah.
I do these interviews to reach out and let people know what is involved with it.
Mm,
The sacrifice, the time, the work, the effort you have to put in as a competitor. And I know there's days
yes.
where you feel like, you know what, I don't know if I can keep going. It could be,
Mm-hmm.
especially, you want to spend more time with your husband, and your kids that are growing up. You ever feel like, is the sacrifice worth it?
Do I feel like it's worth it? Absolutely. I'm still here for sure. I am still here. So absolutely. Most definitely. Like I stated earlier, if you really want to discover the fountain of youth, it is in the gym. It's not jumping on no table getting cut on. That's not it. You'll have a greater appreciation when you actually see what type of results your body yield, what type of results you'll yield from just being consistent. So absolutely, it is beyond worth it. Because again, I wouldn't be here if I didn't get into bodybuilding for sure. Yeah.
Mhm. And also, I think it's a sport that saves your life in a way because I know ladies who got into this because they were dealing with either mental issues, issues of,
Mhm.
you know, some ladies who abusing food. I talked to one lady, she was in an abusive relationship and it helped her do it, her time doing that. It's something, even though it's not a very broad, well known sport, but it's a sport that has maybe helped people's mindset, even their bodies. And
Mm.
also like this, with bodybuilding, it's not per se the fountain of youth, but it does halt the fall of time a little bit. It does kind of help you, gain strength in your bones and the muscles and stuff like that. One right now, I got two bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin's. And I got issues with my shoulders because you know I know I did take care of myself, but I try to do my best. But I know I'm not perfect. But
Yes, absolutely.
people like
Movement is the best thing. I tell anyone too. Because I've been in a motorcycle accident. I've been hit by a drunk driver. I've been hit by a young teenager. She was on her phone, not paying attention, and ran through a light and hit me almost head on. Like going like 50 miles per hour and totaled my car. So, um, if anybody, for the most part, if you are dealing with any type of pain, just remaining stagnant it's going to just worsen the whole situation. Get some movement going on in your life. The more I move, the more I alleviate the pain because I'm not just sitting stagnant and not doing anything about it. I'm actually getting some movement going on. So yeah, you experiencing pain of any sort, start moving around and see what happens. But
yeah,
remain consistent with your movement.
Yeah, that's what I wish I was more consistent. I was going working out, but then I had a setback a while back.
Hmm.
I have to deal with issues, but I tried to do as much as I can. Like
Yeah,
I said again, I am still a big man. It's hard to move all this
it's okay.
jelly around,
It's
but you know
okay.
what? If you like I said again, you have to be disciplined, have to be persistent, and you have to be determined because
Mm.
you just can't just like I said, sometimes depending how I feel. But
Hmm.
the thing is about bodybuilding. You can't do anything depending on your feel. Here, shout out to my man Lawrence coming through. He says, my ancestors from the South, it's runs in the family tree. Thank you, brother. Thank you for supporting that. Also, he says, shout out to you, George, as well. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Always.
Yay.
So we're not going to hold her too much longer. We enjoy this opportunity, especially for me, you know, in North Carolina, talk to a competitor here in North Carolina. Quite a few ladies have interviewed for me in my home state. I
Okay.
remember a while back, I got to meet some bodybuilders at an event. It was in Rayford. My man Glenn, we
Ooh.
had an event. I got me a couple of ladies who I'm friends with. We did some interviews with, and I'm still good friends with them.
Okay.
Even I went to my first bodybuilding competition in Savannah, and I got to meet
Mm.
some amazing ladies, like some legends like Alina Popa. I mean, and
Okay.
I saw Linda Murray, a lady you
Oh,
know,
that is so cool.
yeah, I mean, it was just a great opportunity for me. I was hoping to try to go to a show this year. My oldest niece lives in Atlanta. I was thinking about seeing with her and I go see the Linda Murray Atlanta Pro, but I got a car in the
Okay.
shop and
Okay.
just
Life is life and ain't it, Pooh? Ooh, honey.
I just hate that car. Right
Mm.
now, I decided not to say fuck that car. I'm just gonna save my money.
I love
I'm uh,
it.
I'm just gonna save my money and get another car if I can, because you know what, it was something my sister gave me, and then
Hmm.
it started to be problems over time. So because she had it for
Yeah.
a long time, hand me downs, can't help it. Your brother sisters give you hand me
Let's
downs.
get us a new car. Let's do that so we can go to these shows. I'd like to meet you in person too. That'd be nice. You gave me my first interview.
Well, that's great. That's why I do this, because you know what, I want to give y'all these opportunities to share your story, to let people understand what it is to be an athlete, even though you're in the division that I find. Am I slobbering? Am I
I'm
slobbering?
always gonna laugh about that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I respect you as an athlete. You're what you
Yes.
put in, how you put in. I mean, everybody can't do what you do. Everybody
Mm,
can't follow the diet, consistency, the sacrifice. I mean, most people would just after halfway would quit. But you did it
absolutely.
because this was something that, in a way, saved your life. You love the training, you love the competition, and you're shooting for an opportunity to become an IFB pro. That's the
Yes.
tough part about it. Most people, even though, hey, it's that span of years, it's not as hard like it used to be. I interviewed a couple of ladies who did Universe in New Jersey. There were
Oh,
600 bikini competitors at that show. Because a friend of mine, she was there because she was supporting her friend who was competing there for a physique
600
600.
bikini girls?
You can, if you know anybody who did the universe last year, they would tell you that's how many it was. Maybe it was oversaturation, but the ladies that
Wow.
interview, both of them are bikini pros. They told me that, and that is crazy. I'm surprised they got their pro cards, but they did. One actually lives in North
Wow.
Carolina. Another one lives in another part of the country.
Hmm.
You have to really be determined. Here we get here from Dorian. She says, "Hey, yes, Dorian, LOL, girl, me super shy, being an athlete since high school, but wearing a bikini on stage. But I am
Yes,
so
baby.
over it. I tall girl, but love bodybuilding. Yeah, that's the thing is,
Yes. Come on, baby. Get on stage. It's okay. Listen, honey
Dorian,
bun. I'm shy too. That's another reason why I said I have to figure out a way to get out of this shyness. Get on stage. Once you get on stage that first time, I promise you, you're gonna get those little, you're gonna have the jitters. Even the professionals will tell you when they get on stage. My coach tells me all the time, I be up there shivering like a leaf, but it don't stop her from being on stage and shining and being great as she is. It ain't gonna stop nothing. Just give it a try. Just do it. You shy, but baby, we gotta get up out of that because you're needed. You're needed.
yeah, I'll say that sometimes you have to get out of your own way. Because
Mm-hmm. Say that
sometimes
again.
you can be your own worst enemy, because
Mm-hmm.
you have to try something. Like when I finally went to my first bodybuilding show, I didn't have the time because I was working jobs. Now I got the
Mm-hmm.
time. I don't really have the money like that anymore like I used to. But you
Yeah.
got to take an opportunity with your chance. That's why I'm hoping maybe someday I like to go to some shows, meet some ladies. I know some ladies ask me, "Hey George, we ever want to come to my shows? Come say me out. I want you to come there." I have a friend of mine. He's an Ivy Pro male
Hmm.
bodybuilder. He said that he's going to do a show coming. He said, "George, I'll fly you out." I said, "I don't know. I'm like Mr. T from A Team.
What?
You have to put something.
Go.
You have to put something in my. You got to put something in my milk or something. And knock me out." I was like, "Hey fool, I'm not getting on a plane." But he told me his wife when they started dating, she had to take a trek lots. But hey, I think
Yep. Whatever we got to do.
yeah. But like I said, it's gonna take some time. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm still growing. We have here from man GM. He says, "Chad says you are beautiful, my friend
Oh,
Cameron."
from Mexico.
Yeah, and I send my best wishes since Mexico. Oh, yes. Thank
Oh,
you, brother.
thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And this is
I
for
feel so loved. That is so sweet. Thank you,
and
honey.
this is from my man Lawrence to Dan says, "You got this, Darian. Appreciate that, brother."
That's
Send him
right,
over.
baby.
Also, he says, perfectly said, Miss Cameron. Thank you again,
Thanks,
my man.
honey. It's true,
Also,
though. It's a true statement.
and also, Lawrence says, put God first in your life, Darian, and everything will be the
That's
better.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
right, baby.
yeah.
He
You gotta
said
have
it
faith.
perfectly said, Lawrence. Thank you,
Yeah,
honey. We
that's
gotta
why.
encourage her. We gotta get you on stage, baby.
Yeah, that's why I say my man, he's very talented. So, folks, like I
Oh.
said, again, we're not gonna hold him much too longer. I know it's the holidays. I know she's also it's about time for her to feed the machine.
Yep, you
Yeah,
already know it. I'm
yeah,
hungry.
yeah. And her man's at the house. He's doing the woman's work. So
That's right, baby. Get the cleaning.
get the cleaning. Get in that kitchen, man. Do what I want you to do.
Do
And
as I say. George, you funny. Stop making me cut up now.
I'm
Ooh,
like
I
I said
love it.
again, that's my talent because I just like to entertain people.
I love
But
it.
like I said again, this is my last question I'm gonna give to you.
Okay,
What
let's go.
what would you want for yourself out of bodybuilding as a whole?
That's a really good question. So for me, I would most definitely say being able to step on that Olympian stage, getting that invite. I think that's when it's really going to hit like, wow, we really made it. We really did it. That would be like one of the best things that I could receive, besides the pro card, of course. But getting that invitation to hit the stage for the O, I think that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a special moment for any competitor. Not everybody's gonna make it to the Olympia. You
Yeah.
know, it's one of the toughest ways. I just the lady I interviewed a while back. She did a show. She was so close to
Mm,
getting there. She took second in the show. She took second last year.
mm,
There's other ways to get to it.
yeah.
It's for anybody who gets into sport. Understand what you are putting into it for yourself as an athlete, what you're getting
Mm,
out from it, and also, you know, just be willing to make those sacrifices. And
mm-hmm.
then again, if you want, it's not going anywhere time soon. The sports is here. If you
Yeah.
miss the opportunity for a pro card, there's always another show around the corner. And if
That's
not,
right.
take time to grow and develop, to work on your aesthetics, to bring in those things that can help you get to that next level.
Absolutely.
Also, I said that sponsorship does help because
It really do.
if you're an athlete and it costs you to travel, the cost of everything else, to coach everything else, because this sport is not very lucrative. It's
It's
not a
thousands of dollars for just one show. It is.
just one show, and prep is also the cost of it. But here's the thing:
Yes.
if there's someone interested in sponsoring her, and you have a genuine interest, just somebody who wants to help her out, but not this guy. You say, "Hey, Cam, I saw your last interview. You got a nice little personality about yourself. Yeah, I salute you, but hey, stop that! Listen,
Stop
this, this,
that.
this is what you say to a lady. You're supposed to say,
Okay.
Mrs. Bell, we are very interested in
Josh
you.
is so
You
funny.
have a great personality about yourself.
Oh,
You
thank
also
you.
you served our country, so we have to appreciate your time as a service member of
Thank
our United
you.
States military. We are a
Absolutely.
company that are interested in maybe sponsoring athletes. We have a product. If it works with you, you feel like it might interest you, we will
Okay.
let you be part of as a brand ambassador. But we
Okay.
have to know that if you something that works in your process as a bodybuilder. If it's not,
Okay.
that's good. But it is, we want to have a mutual good relationship and maybe
Okay.
see your future in the bodybuilding world. So, madam,
Absolutely.
would you be particularly interested in something like that?
Maybe, yes. Let's go for it. Let's see. Let's see what you have.
All right, okay, we'll work on that. We'll let you know. But that's what we
Okay.
need. We need people to reach out to, especially you're in a division that's very more popular,
Mm,
and there's opportunities, but it's just about the right people in the right time. You gotta be
that's
careful
right.
also who we check. Some people, like I said again, can be a little bit. But if you have people who are genuinely interested to see you grow up as an athlete, as a bodybuilder, who
Yes.
really want to see you get to that next level, other than that, that is very appreciated. That's very important, especially for you, especially.
Please, any info will be greatly appreciated for sure.
Where if I see
Please, that
something,
would be
as I said before, I'm often aware of my surroundings at all times. If I see something, I'll let you know.
I appreciate you.
Alrighty. So, folks, I like to appreciate my guests for coming through. Shout out to Darian. Shout out to my man Lawrence Perkins. Shout out to my man KL the Wanderer, all who are here. GM, who's also here, who support this content on bodybuilding. Before we let the lovely Mrs. Bell go, do you have anybody you want to shout out to?
Want to shout out my coach, like I said, Miss Sharonica Hinton. She can be found on IG if you type in her name, Sharonica Hinton. My husband, the People's Advertiser, that's my baby. He's done a lot as far as like the videos and stuff like that. What I post on online. Yeah, those two are pretty much my biggest supporters right now. I most definitely, without a doubt, got to shout them out. So yeah,
Yeah.
my coach and the hubby, baby.
Yeah, I think your husband made a comment said that's my wife. I said, I might check him out. Also, I know Sharonica's fiance Chris just started following me on IG.
Yes, I
I
love. Oh gosh,
there's
I love it.
if I did this a while back. That was when I think she was competing in Texas when they made the engagement. And I made a little
Hmm.
video on my IG. I've seen the link. You check it out.
Yes, send it to me.
You will love it. I think they loved it because I put a little song to it, made a little say like they were getting engaged. It's beautiful. The song when you hear the song, you're gonna cry because you're a woman.
Oh
That's how you're gonna do
gosh, I know, and I'm sensitive, and I can't eat no chocolate for it.
it. Yeah,
Oh,
because we're men. Except for your husband,
I
you do
know.
woman work. That's why I picking on the thing, But I respect anybody who support their spouse, their wife, the significant other,
Absolutely,
the husband and girlfriend do this sport because this is a tough sport.
it is
Time,
very
money.
tough.
This sport can drain you mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially and spiritually. But as
Mm,
long as you know
mm,
who you are, if you're determined to get to that next level, be it make a regional show, be it national, be it
yes.
IFBB, be it Olympia, be it because you can, like I said, one show you still can make is in the IFBB is the All Sports Classic, even though it kind of, as I said with my quote from my favorite movie, Batman Begins, it walked quite behind wins, body and physique, and figures hot, and stab in the
Mm,
heart. But they still have a sheet there. So
yeah,
whatever I can do as a content maker to give y'all ladies attention, that's what I'm doing.
I appreciate you. You're the best.
Oh, yeah. Nah, I'm just a muscle personal as like buff chick. That's all. So, but here we got here from Darian. She says, "Thank you for the encouragement."
Absolutely, honey
Yeah,
buns.
you
Without
got
a
like I said again.
doubt.
Just get out of your own way and take a chance. If you, like I
That's
said,
right.
sometimes like the quote again from me. I love the whole Batman trilogy. Why do we fall? Could we learn to
Mm,
pick ourselves up? And also, to quote one of my favorite movies, Rocky Balboa, it's not how hard you can think you hit, it's how hard you take the hits and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. You gotta
mm,
keep
mm.
moving forward.
I
Live,
know that's
live
right.
and
It's true.
learn.
But I must have to conjoin with your statement. My bestie, um, she's a minister, and this is for you, Dorian. She most definitely stated to me, sometimes you're gonna have to operate in fear. You're gonna have to do some things in fear. Because if not, you're not gonna do anything just because fear is just pretty much blocking your view of what you have in mind of what you want to do. You're gonna have to operate in fear, sweetheart. That's what it is. And 9 out of 10, when you operate out of fear, you're gonna gain the best result you can think of. You just got to
So,
do it.
quote from the movie Dune: "Fear is the mind killer." And
Mm,
sometimes it can motivate you, but also if it's too much of it, it can hold you back.
this is accurate.
You gotta be
Don't
able
let
to
it
do it.
hold you back, sweetheart.
Yeah, you gotta your own way. So, folks, I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Easter weekend. Tomorrow is Monday. Lucky I don't have a job anymore. I don't have to worry about that, but the rest of y'all do.
Ah,
I think
that
some
was
people,
good.
I think some people do get Monday off because yeah. So you got a 4-day weekend. You got Friday and Monday,
Yes.
but you got to go on Tuesday. I tell you, when I was working, I hate Tuesdays. I don't know. It seemed like Monday just
Oh, it's Tuesdays were the worst.
yeah, Tuesday just seemed like I don't know why about Tuesday. It's just where I worked at the club, we had $2 Tuesday. That's when you get in the club with $2. You know,
Oh no, that is not good. No,
hey,
thank you.
that's how the man was making his money. But sometimes you stop
Ah,
after a certain amount of time, then everybody have to pay full price. But
I understand, baby. Talk that. Yeah, get
yeah.
that money.
But folks, again, I appreciate my guests for coming here and supporting my channel and also
Thank
supporting these ladies out here.
you.
If you want to follow Cameryn, her link are in this description of this live stream.
Yes.
Hey guys, I want you to be nice. This is a Southern lady. Treat her nice. This is I said this
I
guys.
always get the best treatment for the dudes. They're awesome. Don't have no problems because I'll get that in line. I'll get that straight.
Yeah.
So it's no issues.
But I said this, guys, you get more with a silk glove than with an iron fist. And I know what you're doing to iron fist.
Mm,
So, folks, we'd like
okay.
to thank the lovely Mrs. Bell for coming through. Wish her best of luck in our time show.
Yay!
You know,
Thank you.
nah, don't like I said. The quote from him again from the movie Dark Knight, from the movie Batman Begins. You never have to, because this
Mm,
is what I do. What I do. Just give y'all
mm,
opportunity to share your story. So, folks,
yeah.
enjoy the rest of the Easter weekend, and I hope y'all have a great holiday. I appreciate my guests and everybody who's here. This is man always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilders. Talk, don't like, subscribe. I am out. Good afternoon, good night, good luck, and God bless. Happy Easter.